already, and it was a first impression just to kind of get to grips with the car. And sometimes first impressions can be incorrect, and sometimes you're left with such a short time with the car that it becomes your only impression. Luckily, I've had this car for a couple of days, and I plan on putting more miles on it later in this video as well. But this gives me a chance to live with it in all scenarios and actually report back what it's like using a car like this, which some would just see as a bit of a toy, what it's like taking it and using it day to day and integrating it with your daily life. So let's get into it and see what it's actually like to use on a regular basis. This car is not great in London, and I don't want to seem like I'm just slating it. I'm just speaking the truth about what it's been like here, using it very regularly. And I know in the countryside I'm going to love it, so we're heading there at the moment. But just while I'm here, steering for purposes like being stuck in stop-start traffic like I am right now, it's not ideal. And so your arms do ache after a long time of being stuck in London's typical traffic. The sound of this car is addictive, and I love it. Anything else to mention? I mean, negatives, it's obvious. It's a track-focused car being used in a city environment. There are issues, so I think we should hop on the motorway, head as far away from London as physically possible, and see what this car is actually like in a more suitable environment, because city centres are not Caterham friendly. It's small enough to use around city centres, but from my experience, let's just go find some good roads. So some time has passed and you join me in Caterham Machine. As you can probably hear behind me, it's not the only car / bike that's here for this purpose. The roads around here are the main reason we're here, but it's a quick lunch stop, and then we get some time to check out some other cars here, see the amazing mix that this place attracts, and also check out the roads around here that this car was properly intended for, so we can head out and have a proper drive in this 310R. To answer anyone's question, can you live with a Caterham? Sure, but don't. Just use it for reasons like this. Take it out on a nice drive and actually make the most of the car. Now, everything that becomes an issue in a city, in a town, which I know is obvious, it makes the car better when you're out on the country roads. It's just so good on twisty stuff, on open roads. You can actually make the most of what this car has to offer, and honestly the performance is amazing considering I know it's got no driver's aids. The car does stick to the road. You can loosen the back end with force, obviously, and I know there are environmental factors playing into the fact this car feels so glued to the road. It's warm today. I don't want to know how Larry it is in the wet, because this car is powerful for its size. Again, 540 kilos for over 150 brake horsepower in the R model. just more important things at hand right now. Obviously the figures are amazing just because of the weight and power ratio, but it's so usable and you have amazing control with this tiny steering wheel. No buttons, no interference. You can just point the car where you want it and go. The front end will react. The back end hasn't stepped out much on me, and this is something they said when I first got the car. They said you'll realize how capable it is. It'll push you to want to explore the limits. It's true. This car is capable of a lot, considering it's got no driver's aids, no ABS, no traction control. It's all on you to control it. You can control it, you can maximize the power, especially on roads like this. And just to hear the way the car sounds, it's amazing. The revs go up all the way to 7,000, I think. It's so nice, and people have spoken negatively about the tone of the engine, just because you can make certain racier cars sound a bit better than this, make a few better noises, but honestly, it's great. And when you lift off around 2,000 RPM, you get constant pops. It just feels raw, and it is fun. Honestly, it's fun. I get it. Some people have cars that they keep in the garage until Saturday, Sunday, sunny day, take it out to the countryside. And before even driving this car, it didn't fully make sense to me. I like the idea of having a car that I can use all the time, but if you're in the lucky position that you can have both, then this car starts to make sense. It's people who compare this car to another car in its price bracket. I think the 310R starts at about 20,000. You have to pay 3K to get it built, and then all the R options, 4K extra, and then other options like windscreen, carbon seats. It keeps adding up, and yes, it's pricey, but it's in a market of its own. You can't compare it to, oh, you can get an M2 or an RS3 for this amount of money on the used car market, because they don't deliver the same experience. This car is raw, it's fun, and it's unique. And you'll go somewhere and people will react to it in the most positive way. I've had countless conversations with strangers who just want to know a bit more about it, and that's what it's about, because it creates an experience that you remember on the Monday to Friday period that you can't use it because it's raining or because you have to go to work. And then weekend comes, you hop in it and you just drive. Don't drive for a purpose, but you just drive.